Okay, here is the news at noon. First, the highlights. Lagos State government pays over 1.5 billion naira compensation to beneficiaries of properties acquired for construction of roads and rail corridor. Nigeria-South Africa strengthen economic partnership, address trade barriers. On the front, Namibia elects first female president in disputed poll. In Sport, Nigeria Table Tennis Federation holds seminar to enhance capabilities of female coaches. Now, the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. The Lagos State government has paid over 1.5 billion naira as compensation to over 150 beneficiaries whose properties were acquired by the state government for public interest. Speaking during the public presentation of checks to beneficiaries, including organizations, individuals, landlords, and tenants, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said the payment fulfilled the promise of fair compensation to citizens whose lands were acquired for the development of the state. The governor reaffirmed his administration's commitment to sustainable growth and inclusivity, adding that his government will continue to ensure the dividends of progress reach every corner of the state. Speaking during the event, the permanent secretary of Lagos State Land Bureau, Kamal Oluwoshago, commended Governor Sanwo-Olu and the landowners for the mutually beneficial partnership. Compensation were paid to those affected by the construction of Pentinima, Agege right-of-way, Lamata Bus Terminal, Abuli Egba, Lamata right-of-way in Ojaba, Abuli Egba, Lamata Corridor, Maryland, road expansion in Orile Badagry, Katangoa, Orile Badagry road expansion, and Oyinbu ultra-modern bus terminal by the Lagos State government. The Lagos State High Court has ruled that members of the Auto Spare Part and Machinery Dealers Association, ASPAMDA, must comply with the State Motor Vehicle and Motor Vehicle Spare Part Dealers Law, even though they operate on federal land. The ruling resolves a legal dispute that began in 2018 over whether ASPAMDA members are legally obligated to register their businesses under the law. In her judgment, Justice Olabisi Ogungbeson emphasized that regulating businesses within Lagos State is essential for maintaining order, security, and economic stability. While acknowledging the claimant's argument regarding their lease agreement with the federal government through the Lagos International Trade Fair Management Board, Justice Ogungbeson concluded that all businesses operating within the state are subject to Lagos State legal and regulatory requirements. The court noted that the Motor Vehicle and Motor Vehicle Spare Part Dealers Law aims to establish a comprehensive database of traders in the industry and to protect consumer interest. Reacting to the judgment, the General Manager of the Motor Vehicle Administration Agency, MVAA, Rashid Muriokwala, described the ruling as a significant victory for the Lagos State government. He stated that the decision reinforces the state authority to regulate business activities within its territory, setting a precedent for other businesses on federally leased land to align with relevant state regulations. The Federal Capital Territory Police Command has announced a clampdown on vehicles with tinted windows and covered number plates as part of effort to curb rising criminal activity such as kidnapping. The command spokesperson, Josephine Ade, in a statement warned vehicle owners and the FCT to remove any tinted glass from their vehicles or face the risk of having their cars impounded. It will be recorded that the FCT Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, also reiterated this directive during a parade of suspects on Tuesday. Disu said many of the victims rescued from kidnappers had cited the use of tinted windows as a factor that made it difficult for people to identify them as being in distress, and explained that criminals often took advantage of vehicles with covered number plate to carry out their operations without being traced. The CP issued a stern warning to residents, stating that the enforcement of the ban on tinted windows, covered number plates, and unregistered vehicles would be vigorously carried out moving forward. Now to the rest of the stories. Nigeria and South Africa have fully operationalized the joint Ministerial Advisory Council on Industry, Trade and Investment to enhance economic cooperation between the two leading African economies. President Cyril Ramaphosa stated this in Cape Town, South Africa, at the Nigeria-South Africa Business Roundtable. Special Advisor to President Bola Tinubu on Information and Strategy, Bayo Nonuga, revealed this in a statement titled Nigeria-South Africa Operationalized Advisory Council to Boost Trade and Investment. At the roundtable, Tinubu assured Ramaphosa that Nigeria is open for business and ready to provide stability, security, and the rule of law for businesses to thrive. At the event, attended by business leaders, government officials, and trade stakeholders, Tinubu also expressed a commitment to address issues discouraging South African investors from growing their businesses and franchises in Nigeria, and called on South Africa to reciprocate by allowing Nigerian companies to operate and flourish in South Africa. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has confirmed ongoing efforts to repatriate over 270 Nigerian citizens imprisoned in Kaliti prison, Ethiopia. According to the acting spokesperson for the Foreign Ministry, Kimebi Ebienfa, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu recently met with the Ethiopian ambassador to Nigeria in the ministry, and the issue of Nigerians in Ethiopian prisons was among the matters that were raised for discussion. Bianfa said though Nigeria and Ethiopia do not currently have an extradition agreement, there are ongoing plans to have MOUs in place for better engagement by both countries. In foreign news, Netumbo Nandi Ndiatwa from the governing Southwest Africa's People's Organization, SWAPO, has been voted in as Namibia's first female president after last week's disputed election. A party stalwart in Ndiatwa, who is currently the vice president, is a trusted leader, having served in high government office for a quarter a century. The Electoral Commission said she had won more than 57% of the votes cast, with her closest rival, Pandulani Etula, getting 26%. Following logistical problems and a three-day extension to polling in some part of the country, Etula said on Saturday that his party would not recognize the result, alleging electoral malpractice. As a consequence, most of the opposition parties boycotted the result announced on Tuesday evening in the capital, Windhoek. SWAPO has been in power in the large but sparsely populated southern African country since independence in 1990. In sport now, the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation, NTTF, is organizing a two-day national coaching seminar on leadership and management skills, which will take place from December 17 to 18 in Ogun State. The seminar aims to enhance the capabilities of Nigerian table tennis coaches, with a particular emphasis on female coaches, aligning with the International Table Tennis Federation Gender Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Initiative. The seminar will feature speakers who will address critical topics under leadership and management skills aimed at enhancing coaches' abilities to identify and develop talent, foster high-performance table tennis players capable of competing globally, and contribute to sustainable development goals. And that's it on the news at noon, but just before we go, stay alive. Make use of pedestrian bridges where available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that under the Sanwo-Olu administration, over 1,932 companies indicated interest to take on graduate interns after their training program designed to expose them in hands-on work experience? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major story. The Lagos State Government has paid over 1.5 billion naira as compensation to over 150 beneficiaries whose properties were acquired by the state government for public interest. Nigeria and South Africa have fully operationalized the Joint Ministerial Advisory Council on Trade, Industry, Trade and Investment to enhance economic cooperation between the two leading African countries. We also told you that Netumbo Ndiatwa from the governing Southwest Africa People's Organization, SWAPO, has been voted as Namibia's first female president after last week's disputed election. Finally, in sport, the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation, NTTF, is organizing a two-day national coaching seminar on leadership and management skills, which will take place from December 17 to 18 in Ogun State. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbolagun. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.